So, tonight we're going to be talking about the magic of our words, the power of our words. They can be magical prayers and blessings that are supernaturally powerful, and they can be curses that produce the very things that we don't want. So, let's let Judah, we'll just drive right into channeling about this. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this space. Yes, that's what channeling is all about, is it not? It's about words. It's about sending a message from beyond. It's about a message that's important enough that we make the effort to connect and to share. It is more than words, our messages. We understand that there is power in words and in messaging. This is some of what makes us different from you. In the fifth dimension and also higher dimensions where other beautiful beings such as ourselves dwell and work and operate, we are instantly manifesting all the time. Instantly manifesting. We think it is. We think it is. We think it is. And so our thoughts create instant manifestation, and our words simply add empowerment to our thoughts. And our words are primarily for your benefit. We don't have need of words, really, where we are. Now, the creator of your universe, your earth, your world, the constructs that you understand of time and space and your reality were spoken into existence by the creator. Creative life force energy imagined this world and breathed a sigh, and there was light. And there was light. God said, whatever God is, the creative consciousness spoke light, and there it was. And this is a capacity of higher dimensional beings, especially in the 11th dimension and beyond. They are designers, they are creators of worlds, of universes, of species, of timelines, of ideas. There are worlds that exist that have only the language of music. There is no words, so to speak, or symbols, only musical sound. So higher dimensional beings are constantly creating, expanding and collapsing, creating, expanding and collapsing, and then creating, expanding and collapsing again, just like the very natural process of your breathing. You breathe in, your lungs expand, you exhale, and they collapse. And so you also are a representation of these higher dimensional beings. You are on your way to realizing, to remembering, to inhabiting your higher dimensional angelic self. In which you think a thought and then you manifest the thought with your word. You think it, you manifest it with the word. The words are your magic wands, so to speak. And so this vessel receives your letters and your emails of frustration, hurt, upset, sometimes anger at spiritual teachers, at life, at your circumstances, and even at angels and beings such as ourselves, because you're not getting what you want. And this is what she and I want to say. We want to say to you about that. We know that you don't like to hear it, but you are creating everything in your reality. Is it a co-creation? Yes, it is a co-creation. That is true. There is lots of energetic entanglement and imprints going on. Other people, places, things, and constructs entangled with your energy, imprinting your energy like a child leaving sticky fingerprints on their mother or father. They are imprinting you, and you are also imprinting and entangled with them. And we hear you say that you're manifesting things you don't want. And we want you to hear that as long as that you're blaming us, you cannot get unstuck. We don't mind if you blame us. We don't mind if you're angry. It never offends us, you see. It doesn't hurt our feelings, for we don't have, in that regard, as you would think, feelings to be hurt because we are unoffendable. So we are only stating this because we want you to understand that blaming will only leave you stuck. So if you blame your mother, your father, your sister, aunt, uncle, wife, neighbor, boss, and then if all of that fails to appease, you're upset and you blame angels, that is just the due course of things. But we're telling you, sweet, precious ones, that your blaming is only going to keep you stuck. You are the creator of everything in your reality, your thoughts, and when you give voice to those thoughts, you are cementing them. You are cementing them into a real experience. So here is one reason why you are not manifesting what you want in some areas. Some of you want instant manifestations. We will tell you, are they possible? Absolutely, they are possible. Instant manifestations are possible. What you consider to be miracles in the realms where we live, from your perspective, everything about how we live would be a miracle, for everything is instant manifestation. But we shield you sometimes from this level of manifestation because you don't have control over your thoughts yet or your words. And if you were granted this wish of yours for instant manifestation, you would find yourself in the middle of a lot of chaos because you're thinking about things. You don't have control over your thoughts. And so not only would you be creating some wonderful things that you want, but you would also be creating willy-nilly and chaotically from the thoughts which you think unconsciously. And so it is a grace and a mercy that you cannot manifest instantly yet. And that will come in due course of time as your mind and your thinking becomes more elevated and from a higher perspective and more aligned with source and your higher self and what you want. So careful, careful, careful of your words. Oh, be careful, little ears, what you hear. Oh, be careful, little ears, what you hear. For angels up above are looking down in love. Oh, be careful, little ears, what you hear. And be careful, little eyes, what you see. And be careful, little mouth, what you say. For the angels up above, they are looking down in love. Oh, be careful, little mouth, what you say. Become aware of your thoughts. Don't bother trying to control your thoughts or stop thinking, because this is a fruitless endeavor. When you have the grace not to think, rejoice. Spend as many moments as you can not thinking at all, for in that space, you create an expanse. You erase the mental and emotional constructs that have brought you to where you are. All of that is erased in the quiet of meditation, so that the hand of God can come forward and write something new on your mind. Now, if you're okay with everything in your life, wonderful. Good job creating. And everything that you've thought up until this point has brought you to this moment in time. And if that is sufficient for you, then be satisfied. And if it is not sufficient for you, understand that there is a problem with your thinking. Okay, we'd like to pass it over to the Pleiadian sisters and Lars of Arcturus for a few moments. Lars of Arcturus here. Yes, we would like to offer you some assistance in elevating your perspective, elevating your thoughts, and consequently your speech. As your thoughts are elevated, your speech will follow. And we are looking at this time from our perspective, from a galactic perspective. We are looking for those who can add their attention to a renovation of Earth, to a renovation of human consciousness, to an elevation and expansion of love on the earth, in order to unseat dark forces that exist, in order to create rifts and tears in lower astral matrices. And it is our delight to offer our assistance. And Arcturians, myself included, are heavily invested in your success. What we would like to add from Arcturus' standpoint, is we would ask you to please stop speaking against yourself. There is talk in your culture of wrongs and sins and misdeeds. And we want to impress upon you that to speak against yourself in our eyes is the greatest misdeed. And this is what we would share. Thoughts are seeds, and words are sprouted seeds. Now, a thought, like a seed, can be plucked up out of the soil of your mind, your body, your life, and be disposed of. And we would tell you this: all disease orients from thought. And we beg of you to please stop listening to pharmaceutical ads that are constantly planting seeds in your mind of the disease that you will have. This is a dangerous manipulation. And if someone says something about you and how you are, and so on, we highly encourage you to say, no, thank you, or not interested, or I don't agree. I strongly disagree. Now, too many of you are far too concerned with being nice. And so you let these little seeds get by you and be planted in who you are. And if you give voice or assent in your thoughts, that is like water and sun to that seed. And if you repeat it to another, repeat it aloud, then you are sprouting it. And this is called gossip. And my dears, you gossip so much about yourself. You repeat what others think and feel and say about you aloud to a partner or a spouse. You feel that this is important to your relationship. And we would tell you, well, keep sprouting those seeds and you're going to have some fruit you don't want. So thoughts are the seeds and words will sprout the seed. Before these seeds take root, pluck them out and toss them away with your conscious thought. Conscious thought. I don't accept that. I don't agree with that. That's not going to be true for me. Now, this vessel and Judah were working with the gentleman this week, and he kindly and graciously offered our permission to share his story. And this gentleman had a serious accident in which his skull was split open, and his family had been warned he won't survive. Be prepared for him to die. And if he were to, on some slim chance, survive, he will likely be incapacitated. But this gentleman imagined in the power of in between his two ears, he imagined a sperm and an ovum coming together and forming life, and then splitting and splitting and splitting and splitting. And we all know what happens then. Then a heartbeat forms. Does it not? And he said in his mind, perhaps out loud, we don't know. He said in his mind, that's the miracle of life. And if two cells can come together and a human be formed from that, then surely there are two cells in my body that will repair. And now this gentleman, a few weeks later, is walking and talking and looking quite normal. So this is the power of thought, you understand. The power of thought. Somewhere inside of him, his soul, his eternal fifth dimensional parts, knew and understood that the very power of life, life force energy, lies in his being. And he gave his attention to that, not to all the energies and voices around him that were saying that he would die. And why he had this grace, who knows? But thank heaven that he did. So you see the power of thought. And then to speak it aloud will cement it, will sprout it, will send it moving upwards, 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 upwards in elevation towards the grand central sun, the life force energy, and towards ultimate fruit. If you have the fruit, then you have the root. If you have the fruit of joy, there is a joy deep inside of you. Recently, this vessel was in a session with a woman, and she hugged the woman with her permission and held her and began to laugh, 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 laugh with deep joy, belly laughter. And the woman said to her, "Why are you laughing?" And if you knew this vessel, you would know that that's not really characteristic of her personality to laugh in that manner. She was laughing because she was mirroring back to the woman her own state of joy and bliss. So when people are saying wonderful things about you, understand they are only mirroring back to you what they see. And when they say mean things to you, don't bother blaming them for the mean things they are saying, because they are only mirroring back to you your thoughts about yourself. Okay, we think we've probably said enough about all of that for now. We applaud your growth. We applaud your courage. It takes enormous courage to show up and listen to messages like this one that go straight to the heart of the matter. But this is the essence of love. Love and truth together are what sprout the seed towards consciousness and bliss and enlightenment. And love without truth will grow nothing, my dears. And truth without love will kill whatever life is resident in you. So we applaud you for your courage, for being here, and for listening.